big question we are asking today is how many Diaboromon are there in this scene? Near the end of the movie, Diaboromon starts duplicating himself to take over the internet. And at the start of the fight, Matt asks, how many Diaboromon are there now? Izzy responding, I don't know. I stopped keeping count a while ago. It's gotta be well over 1 million though. Now, this isn't technically untrue. There are definitely well over 1 million. But if I were to show you this totally real jar of sweets and say, if you can guess how many sweets are in this jar, you can have it. And your response was more than 5. You would be technically correct. There are definitely more than 5 sweets in this jar. Feel free to have it. Enjoy raw teeth. I'm gonna eat some fruit instead. Have your goddamn jar. But yes, if you said more than 5, you are technically correct. But seeing as Izzy lost count, I thought I would do the whole internet a favour and ask a question that so many people, like the vast majority of the internet, are totally asking about this 24-year-old movie. Oh, I feel old. Oh god. I mean, it's on VHS, it makes sense, but damn. Yeah, 24 years old. It came out in 2000. I'll answer the question that so many people on the internet have been asking about this 24-year-old movie, which is how many Diaboromon are there in this scene? Also, not to rag on him, but I don't trust Izzy's calculations. When he said,
how many are there? There are over 75,000 and counting.
He is, once again, not incorrect. There are over 75,000 and counting. But the actual number was a bit higher than that. But if you're counting, yeah. If I were to say how many sweets are in this jar, 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 and counting. Diaboromon begins dividing at a rate of roughly every 2 seconds. Of the time we can actually see the entire mitosis, it took him 1.93 seconds, 2.09 seconds, and 2.17 seconds respectively. So I'm just going to say 2 seconds because I couldn't find a calculator that could calculate milliseconds. Though this will skew our numbers a little bit, you will see at the end that it doesn't really matter. So at 10 minutes, there were 1 Diaboromons. At 9 minutes 58, there were 2. At 9:56, there were 4. At 9:54, there were 8. And so on and so on and so on until the timer runs out. At which point, there would be... Oh, mother of God, that's not a real number, right? That can't be a real number. But for anyone that's watched the movie, you know the timer doesn't ever hit 0. It lands on 1.
Connection terminated.
And also, he's not multiplying that entire time. From the moment he begins to multiply to the moments in the final boss room where it seems to suggest that he stops, the movie runs for 3 minutes and 16 seconds. With Izzy commenting that there are over 75,000 and counting at 1 minute 21, which at 1 minute 21 would be a total of, that's a big number, 1,099,511,627,776 Diaboromons. So, yeah, a little bit over 75,000. Maybe Izzy forgot to carry a 2 or divided by 0. But yeah, he missed the mark by just a tinsy bit. Meaning by the time Izzy stops counting when Diaboromon enters the final room, which is at 3 minutes and 16 seconds after he starts multiplying, this would mean well over 1 million is accurate. But it doesn't paint the picture quite correctly because the actual number after 3 minutes and 16 seconds of dividing was in fact 302 sextillion, 231 quintillion, 454 quadrillion, 903 trillion, 657 billion Diaboromons. Post-editor Dan here. I'm not quite sure how I got this calculation wrong, but I actually mentioned the time for 2 minutes 38, not 3 minutes and 16. The actual amount of Diaboromons there would be 158 octillion, 456 septillion, 325 sextillion, 28 quintillion, 529 quadrillion Diaboromons. So, there's our answer. 158 octillion Diaboromons. Be sure to like and subscribe on your way out. Oh, there's still a ton of runtime. Oh, right, yeah, there's a slight problem here. See, the runtime of the movie does not match up with the timer. 1 minute after the time starts in movie time, the clock says 8 minutes. Which, if we account for the fact that the timer is already at 8 minutes, would mean Izzy made his statement 2 minutes and 21 seconds after my titles begin of over 75,000 and counting. Which would be... I'm just putting the number here. I don't know what that number is. I'm not going to try and say it. And this showed the clock at 2 minutes and 48 seconds showing 6 minutes and 29. And if we just say the seconds between this time is showing and them getting into the final boss chamber is real time, this would mean they got to the chamber with 6 minutes and 3 seconds left on the clock. Meaning Diaboromon had been multiplying for 3 minutes and 57 seconds. Which would be... Why did I do this to myself? 166 decillion, 153 nonzillion, 499 octillion, 473 septillion, 114 sextillion Diaboromons. That's not a real number, right? Yeah, it is. It's more than Russia was asking for. If I happen to be found dead in the following days after the release of this video, let it be known, even if it looks like it was made by self-inflicted wounds, it was not, it was Russia. Anyway, how much data would that be? While no definitive data size for Diaboromon has ever been announced, in Digimon Cyber Sleuth, we do get the information that Diaboromon is equal to 20 memory. Considering we have no concept conversion as to what one memory is equal to, for the sake of argument, we're just going to say it's equal to 1 kilobyte. The reason I say kilobyte and not bit is when Koromon's egg appears in the world, the shape of the egg is made up of several zeros and ones, and a bit can only be a singular 0 or 1, with the next size being a byte, which is made up of 8 bits. But despite being fuzzy, it is observable that the egg is made up of more than 8 digits. So the logical answer is to go with a kilobyte, a metric made up of 1,000 bytes or 8,000 bits. Not to mention how when Diaboromon's egg first showed up, it was made up of thousands of numbers. Meaning in reality, a Digimon is probably made up of a lot larger amount of data, but you'll see why I'm sticking to a kilobyte in a moment. So, 1 Diaboromon is equal to 20 kilobytes. If by the time Diaboromon stops multiplying at 3 minutes and 57 seconds after the clock starting, if each Diaboromon is equal to 20 kilobytes, then we just need to multiply 166 decillion by 20, and we get this number. And I'm just going to round down for the sake of argument and say 3.5 undecillion. That amount of Diaboromons would be equal to 3.3 undecillion bytes, which if we move up to larger storage, if we go to megabytes, gigabytes, terabytes, petabytes, the largest storage we have is a yottabyte, which even so, this is still equal to 3.3 quadrillion yottabytes. And let's just remember that this movie came out in the year 2000 on VHS. In the movie, they literally have dialogue.
Infomon is emailing us too.
Why is he saying hello over and over again?
Look at the address.
Huh?
He's at the telephone company taking over all the phone lines. If we lose our phone connection, we're finished. That's the only way we have access to the internet.
The largest hard drive to be released as of the year 2000 is the Barracuda 180, which contains 181 gigabytes of storage. Why didn't you call it the 181? It's got a much nicer ring to it. 180 is just weird. 180, how much storage? 181. I don't get it. Whatever. But provided the internet...
What is Jen doing with the internet?
...was stored on Barracuda 180s, I mean 181s. Provided the internet was stored on Barracuda 180s, this would mean they would need... numbers. 18,359,502,704,211.5 hard drives just to store Diaboromon's data. Collectively, worldwide, as of the year 2000, accounting for every year's worth of shipping since the 80s when they were first tracked, the world would have a total of 1,141,000,000 hard drives. So, a little short of the number we need. And this is saying that they're all 180 Barracudas, which they weren't. Most of them were 512 IBM, which is significantly smaller. But for the sake of argument, let's just say they're 180 Barracudas. So with not enough storage, where exactly did the internet,
This is the internet.
store all the Diaboromons? If we said each Diaboromon was only 1 bit, that's this lovely number, which is equal to this many yottabytes. 20,769,187,434.14 yottabytes worth of storage, which is 114,749,891.9 Barracuda 180s. So, technically, yes, if Diaboromon was made up of one singular bit, which we know he isn't, it could technically store all of Diaboromon on the internet in the 2000s. Oh, and for anyone that's curious how many Diaboromon there would be if they had kept multiplying all the way to 10 minutes, just the Diaboromons alone, not the kilobytes, not the petabytes, not the yottabytes amount, just the singular Diaboromons on their own is this number. Yep, still going. Just keeps going and going and going and going and going. What is this, the Energizer Bunny?
Nothing outlasts the Energizer. They keep going and going.
Stop the bunny, please.
And going and...
But with that information on the way, at least I've got one of the many questions I have about the series answered. Now all I need to know is, why is Terriermon evil in the cover? I need to know! Be sure to like and subscribe. See ya.
Still going. Nothing outlasts the Energizer. They keep going and going and going.
Hey, thanks for watching. You made it to the end of the video. Congratulations, you get a star. Bing. I don't know. This has been a thing that's sat in my brain for so many years, and I don't know why I've only just got around to doing it now. But yeah, there is a bunch of Digimon videos I want to make, legitimately. Some of those, like the missile, which is, I believe, the M201 Peacekeeper, I think it's called, which, watch the Digimon sub. That missile is not joked about. It is very clear that this missile was intended to wipe out Earth. Anyway, look forward to that video. That's kind of a weird thing to say, to look forward. Look forward to a video talking about the decimation of humanity. Not decimation, that means 10%. The destruction of humanity. Until then, thanks for watching. Click the video at the end of the video for more content, and I'll see you later. Bye. While I'm nodding and agreeing to everything he's saying, then giving his entire pre-rehearsed speech, back of my head all I'm hearing is,
Hello, Mom? I'm Greymon now. You can be whatever you want to be, big guy. Ah! Nova Flame! Ah! Greymon! Don't quit! Sonic Destroyer! Ah! Greymon! No! Greymon! Get up!